so confused as to what just went on. It's a shame we had like 10 views. That's really annoying that that crashed. That's really annoying that crashed. And that's 10 views. We actually get the streak going. Damn, it's such a shame. Why did Streamlabs crash? That's really weird. Some super weird behavior. I don't know why that just crashed. Some weird behavior for it. Oh, that's a shame. We lost like half of everyone view. No. It is what it is. Can't win it all. Are we back? You say no. I don't even know what happened. It just literally my Streamlabs just closed down. Like completely. It's a shame. There was like 10 people going, and the new Russian guy just joined as well. So, what a shame. Ah, well, it is what it is. It's fun while it lasted. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's crack on. Say crack on. I've got nowhere further. I mean, it's working. There's still that weird. So that's fine. There's like an imaginary. I don't know if you guys see it, but there's like this imaginary like thing that it hurdles over. I don't know what it is. Does it do it on the left foot? Let's see. Like what is the ball? It's like the ball of the toe is just being really, really weird. And it's just like, yeah, I'm not about that. So it's so strange. Um Let me say offset left foot. Yeah, that we propagate to children. So it should go to the thing. So everything should be rotated, but the ball of the foot just does some weird, weird behavior. I can't quite understand why it behaves so weirdly. I just can't understand why the ball of the foot behaves so weirdly. I have a feeling the right foot is behaving weird because of. So the left foot is behaving fine, but the right foot isn't. Let's add the right foot to this. Yeah, but this is in the IK, and all the rotation is handled by the aim, so it doesn't really make much sense to have. And you can still have some bone settings, but the aim is what is dictating this. Yeah, the aim here is what is input transform IK. Oh, this is definitely wrong. This is definitely wrong. Yeah, this is the transforming global space before the aim was applied. Should be this. What? Why is that backwards? Oh, for God's sake. Oh, don't get my nerves. It's almost like I might separate this aim, this rotate foot. I might take it out from within the foot offset because it seems like it's behaving really strange. Because I think the axis needs to be different. Because I think this is right now. Because I was using the root as the rotation before, which is completely wrong. It should be the rotation of the foot. Let's just see how it behaves, and then I'm gonna have to take it out and apply it directly to the foot itself. Let's see. Okay, so there doesn't seem to be any weird. The left foot is still behaving like an absolute stranger. I guess you use the roots because that is purely the direction of the surface movement rather than the foot itself. Yeah, we definitely need some bow setting somewhere in this thing because it's just behaving awfully. It's not behaving nice at all. Accuracy, if we lock everything. Resume the foot with resumption. Whatever, that's perfectly fine. Okay. Rotation or stiffness. How are you going to behave? I still don't think it's going to really do anything because we're rotating the foot externally. So, I mean, it doesn't really make a difference because I just want to know why this right foot feels like it's walking on some kind of block. Like, if you guys notice when we're going up, it feels like the right foot, yeah, stands on top of this like weird little thing. I don't really even know what that could be. Oh, nah, what? Hmm. So it should really. I'm just trying to think like with we're using a foot, we're setting it to a location, and then we're aligning this with that. And we're aiming the foot to that position, and and then we're propagating to children that rotation. Um, there's a separation between the IK settings for the foot because we in this here when we set the offset, we set the rotation of that bone, which is the IK foot. And we take this, so we have the rotation, blah blah blah, of this thing there. Oh, so no, these should still play a factor. To be fair, so I mean, let's play around with them first in this other thing. Yeah, I think we need some controls for the. So it's like we need the ball of the foot to be translate. So let's. Okay. Now, if we want to limit, so at foot right, um, Z, that's limited. Minus. So you shouldn't be able to do that. I guess the foot isn't even rotating. The foot isn't actually rotating. That's the thing, I guess. Like when we do this. Oh, it's because our IK one is the. What if we did it as the ball of the foot? Let's try it. Yeah, let's try that because the foot isn't. Just behavior is so terribly wrong. Um, Instead, we have up here we have. Okay, so now if we move, so we move this. Okay. Ah. Okay. Okay. So if we now put some restraints on this foot, so we say this is limited to like minus 70, 70. Now if we do it, it starts to bend at the tiptoe when we get towards that point. So let's limit it even more. We say this is limited to minus 45, 45. Now when we do it, it should. Ah, that's quite nice. So if you just want to go up to that point, you're just going to lift that toe. Push down. Press down on that. Okay. Okay. That looks to behave so much better. So if we want to go up there, could be of interest to. Do a little switcheroo. We'll use the ball of the foot instead. My bugging was there like a double me in the camera. Oh, it's the reflection thing. That's interesting. Yeah, let's see. Here. Um that's bright light. Let me just sort that out. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's operate on the balls of the feet rather than the foot itself. Yeah, but the rotation stuff is going to be wrong. We'll see. Whatever. Let's see. Curious to see how it's going to behave. I'm just going to disconnect this rotation bit. Let the rotation be controlled solely by IK, which I don't think is going to be good. Yo. Oh, yeah. So if we play this, how is this going to behave? See, I kind of thought that would be the issue. What is this foot colliding with? And we can't use the ball, so we have to use the foot. Ugh. I guess we can say set some rotational stuff for the ball of the foot. It seems to be rotating upwards or something. Um, so rather than having let's have some ball. So ball left, ball right. Let's just make it so that it cannot rotate. So it just cannot rotate. It can move position wise, but it cannot rotate. Let's see. Let's say it cannot move position wise. Cannot rotate, cannot move. That's the ball of the foot. Oh, that's fine. That works better. So the ball of the foot stays in the same rotation as the rest of the foot. There is a slight little kick up, but that's because of the angle of rotation of this this calf. So like it's as it's going up, I think there needs to be a limit to how much this. Yeah, no, I think there needs to be a limit to how much the calf could rotate because I think it's able to do too much. Like here, I think if we look up here, so let's go foot. If we look at let's go right for control. If we look here, this is just able to bend too much. It shouldn't be able to do this. I think the way we'll get I'm so stupid. This solves our other problem because the other problem was like we need to get the knee to move higher. This solves it. The calf. Let's first ball. So like we say in a foot, so this should be the ball left. Now if we move it, yeah, the ball of the left. These shouldn't be able to move from other than where I tell it to in terms of the IK. So that doesn't move at all. Now what we need to do then is have I'm curious if I made this. Yeah, behave the same. Let's just keep it. Anyway, so if I said we had in these calf settings here, we take calf right for example. We're saying it's limited to 130 degrees, so this is the max in which like, it can't bend inside. That's fine, but it can't do that. So like, if I say the minimum is minus 130 as well, it should be able to. Yeah, it can. it might be able to. You know, that's pretty good. That's too much. So 0. What if we said it was like 70? Ah, yes, yes, because then it's going to start to raise the knee more in order to reach the point. So if we had, say, maybe like 100, from this point, it's going to start raising the knee. Ah, this is it. 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 This is the one. We figured out how to do it. Just adjust this. We figured out how to do it, people. I think I'm on the right track. So, yes, okay. So we just got to drop how much the calf can rotate in order to make it so that the knee gets pulled up more. So instead of 130, let's just say like 90. Pile that. Save. Plug this in there. Compile. Play. So now we should have more of a drive in the knees. Yes, and then it's good as well because now the foot isn't over rotated. The foot doesn't get rotated weirdly because there's more of a drive in the knees. And so the foot is still rotating it weird. What if we make it tiny? Like 50. Oh no, no, it's the wrong one. Did I change the right one? It's not 50. So that at that point, you're going to need to lift the knee up rather than anything else in order to do it. Pelvis is the same, but you just got to lift the knee up more. Mm. No, that doesn't help it. 180. Yeah, past a certain point, it behaves the same. What if we just increase the preferred angle? And decrease it even? Because we want it to have more knee bend than we do. Okay, that's more knee bend for sure. That is more knee bend for sure. Let's drop it even more. Let's make this preferred angle like 10. Okay, that is more bend than knee, for sure. There's slightly less. There is slightly. There's some weird stuff going on with the aim. That's fine. But there's slightly less rotation in the foot, which is. I mean, one thing as well to be real. I got to realize this slope is just so unrealistic. Like it's literally like there's nothing ever going to be in the game like this. I don't know. I keep testing myself. Shooting myself like this at most to actually understand how it works because putting on a slope that no one can actually physically walk up makes you're gonna get some weird behavior. It's actually pretty fine. It's actually the downhill works perfectly. It's just that weird. It's just that weird behavior. I'm not seeing enough of a difference to want to change the settings to be honest. I think that will impact how we change that. But these settings seem to be right. See this, might leave it 100. So, or even 90 to be honest. Um, yeah, that's quite good. That feels good. That looks really good. That looks really good. Wow. Okay. Okay. That looks really, really good. Let's go back uphill. That looks really, really good. Oh, I fell off it. That looks really good. That looks really good. Let's do that again. What do you think? That looks really good, people. I can't lie to you. That looks great. We just made some really small tweaks because basically we limited the how much that thing can rotate, so it uses the knees ever so slightly more. And we're actually now on a realistic slope. But there is some weird. It's just this. There's a point at which the only problem I have is the fact that I say the fact that the toes don't touch the floor, but they. That looks pretty spot on. I can't. I'm trying to like find fault in it, but it looks pretty good. Especially go downhill is just absolute. That's it. It's the toes. It's the toes. I'm not the only one that's the toes just flick that little bit too much. But that's the rotation of the act. Also, the right foot looks like it steps on some kind of. Oh no, yeah, no, the lean. Yeah, no, we haven't even started that. I'm talking purely about like the lower half of the body. The lean, yeah, I need to actually add it in. We haven't added it in yet. Um, I've got the stuff set up, but we're gonna have to fix it. The toes bend up too much. The right foot also looks like it's stepping on something, but I mean, maybe it's just the toes just going downhill perfectly fine. The toe, that right toe especially, just, but it seems to be no, yeah, it's there. It's like it's colliding with something, like there. What are you colliding with? Why are you not on the floor? It's almost like it's colliding. So I'm Yeah, do you see the toes are colliding with something? I need to figure out what that is. The toes are definitely colliding with something. Let me just save everything. This is not the worst. This is okay so far. Um, I just don't know what the toes are colliding with. Could it be? Could it be this? No, they wouldn't be colliding with the physics. That would make no sense. But for my own. But why would they collide with the physics clubs? There's no like it doesn't make any sense. It really makes no sense why it would collide with the physics capsule. I mean, maybe I'm trying. I just want to make sure it is in the physics capsule. I don't think it would be. It wouldn't make any sense to be. No, they look like they're colliding on something, and I can't. No, they're not colliding on anything. What it is, I'll tell you what it is. It's because if you look at the point of rotation, if you look at their point of rotation, they flick up because the base of the actual toe rotates up immediately, and then it comes down. So it's like it rotates and then it's like springing down. Because I'm pretty sure there is interpolation in the offset. Yeah, so here, yeah, so this moves the foot wherever. It's quite a lot of stiffness in this actually. But yeah, he's walking on which technically he is because what we do because this is the problem we have is that he is walking on his heels technically, but the rotation here we as we go we rotate to the surface normal, so we get our location and then we rotate to the surface normal. So as he takes a step, the foot, like you calculate the IK thing and then we rotate to the surface normal. So I think it's because of the rotation of the foot, the actual foot itself. um that's because the heel is locked, the ball of the foot is locked in place with the way the foot itself is rotated. We need almost a more like gradual rotate, like the foot of the rotation can't be ever like this, because whenever we go to actually match the IK to it, the IK point, we basically I'll explain it. We're like we get the foot location, we need to move the foot to that point. Yeah, we need to move the foot to that specific point, and we're like, oh, we'll rotate the foot to it. So the foot rotates, but the ball of the foot just follows however the foot is rotated. So that's why it looks like it just goes like this. Whereas really it should be like a lift off. then that's how you'd walk rather than walking like this. If that makes any sense. So you should like put your foot down, heel, then your foot should leave first, and then your toe will leave. So you're like actually walking. Whereas he just looks like he's doing this. And he like, I don't know, like he scoops off the ground. So that's what it doesn't look like right because he's not walking like how a person would walk. Um, in my head, a way we could get around that is by actually tracing the ball of the foot as well. So having those two contact points, so where you hit with your ball of your foot and where you hit with your foot, and we're gonna do IK on both, and then we have some IK settings for these four bones that we want to control. We do IK settings for these four bones, and we can work on it together so the body's pulled. However, maybe the ball of the foot has less of a pull and sort of thing, but we pull that bone to that location. So it's like, where would that hit? That's gonna get pulled there. Uh, Maybe that would do something. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's interpolate a movement through it. Hey, Calder. Yeah, if you see there, the foot gets moved up really slowly to the new location. Now, what I think, that's fine. We can actually take this back to what it was. What I think we need to do, I think we need to interpolate this rotation. So the previous rotation, so because basically how it is the new location, it just rotates. So new location rotate. Whereas I think we need to basically, if we're rotated like this, the new location's here, we should then slowly bring it. Do you know what I mean? So it's more of like a, so yeah. Honestly. Honestly, the crazy thing is like, there's some things you find about Unreal that's like, a lot of things you think, oh, would just be like baked into the system. It's like a lot of overhead to try and get it to work. Like I understand you can't make people's games for them, but like there's some things you think like, damn man, like the menu, there's no gamepad menu like UMG widget um integration that you have to set it up yourself. I, like I create like arrays of things, and I was like, there's just no way like you don't have a gamepad press or like a gamepad up to do you know what I mean? Like I was like, how is this not just like baked into it? But I can understand it's a lot of effort to try and like get every possible gamepad thing that you do want to do. Um, but yeah, damn. I was like, bro, it's a lot of work. I need to change the batteries on my mouse real quick in a second. Um, I think I think we need to interpolate this rotation. This A math. I think we need to. So this is our new rotation here. We need to interpolate between this and the current rotation of this bone. Now the only thing is, when I do the lean, we interp some rotator stuff here. So I guess, so if we go here, what is this? That doesn't do it right. You could, oh, you could lerp a Quaternion. Didn't even know this. So that's the target value. Get rid of this guy. And then we have our initial value, which is this guy here. Should really have it like this. There you go. And then we want to set that to a rotation there. And the blend, I'm pretty sure lower is more blend. So if we have a blend of like 1. So you see here, that's the to the new rotation. So it should, and if we have a blend of 5, it'll be really quick, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. The 0.1, it'll take absolutely ages to rotate to whatever position it is to the surface normal. So there we go. Nice little blend, as you can see. So compile. Why only that is rotating, I'm not entirely sure. But hey ho. Yeah, no, like to be fair, I should have realized you can. But I can use this in my my lean, which I haven't been doing, which is me just being stupid. Um, okay, so that's there's less. There's no. I'll tell you what. There is no flick. I don't know if you guys notice. There's no weird flick now. At least, I mean, it doesn't move at all, and then it slowly blends to that point. But there's no like weird. No, we just gotta mess around with this. Let's go like 3. Do you see? Do you see what I mean though? Like we have the way a human would walk a bit better now. He's actually like it's too slow. It's too slow, but it's starting to have that wave. You know. Let's go 5. Come on, I have faith in you. Okay, that's better. It's still there's all the weird toe thing happening. I knew this would be a problem when you're sprinting. It's fine when you're walking, but it's a problem when you're sprinting. We need it to be like, yeah, it needs to almost be instantaneous, really. Still sort of does it, but he just looks like he sprints on his toes. It looks so weird. It's pretty much instantaneous, is it not? Oh yeah, no, no. I don't know about you guys. That looks pretty good. Let's see sprint. Nice. He's just he's just like shuffling a bit. You know what I mean he's not really. I don't know. I don't know if the sprint is like that anyway. I it's probably more accurate of a sprint to be honest. You like it's more tiptoe based. That's if like yeah. I hate to say if any sprinter, that's probably how you want to run. The stairs, I know it's just gonna work horrendously. Oh no, not even. there is still that really annoying. But I think it's because we don't use the ball of the foot. Yeah, I think that's a mocap thing though. I think we need an actually more like really obvious sprint. Like I think we need like a you need to make it like because this sprint is yeah, it's just like legs go quickly. But I mean, if we get rid of this, yeah, no, the downhill walk is yeah, it's pretty there. How does the sprint look now? Oh, the sprint looks terrible anyway. Yeah, no, the sprint doesn't even look better. Yeah, the sprint with IK looks awful. I think that's an animation thing. I'm going to keep this rotation then. This rotation thing there. Let's go 15. This I can still see the flick up, and it's really annoying me. Like, look, it's there. What is that about? What is that? You see, it's like yeah, it's like the toes just, and I know it's the rotation from the foot, but this aim just sucks. It, yeah, no, there's a lot of aspects of things that we need to change with the animations, the mesh. It really is, yeah. Wait, this is not 0.5. Used to be fully rotated properly. Um. Oh no, Thomas, mate. Nah, like I'd rather you say all this stuff than not say anything. Like we're not the kind of environment it's got to be is you guys have to be open and transparent, man. If you hate something and you think it looks absolute shit, you gotta tell me. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's no such thing as like hate when you're being constructive in this sense. We're all trying to make the best game, you know what I mean? So we've got to work together to do so. It's a collaborative effort, man. If we all work together, this game's gonna be sick. So if you got an idea, man, shout it. Yeah, the leg lift is. I think me and Dada were talking about this how it might need to be more of an animation itself beyond like if you're walking uphill, anything that's quite steep needs to be an animation. That's the kind of uh thought process that we're having, especially staircases. Like staircases will need an animation for walking upstairs. Like, I think that'll help because I think IK again. It's like it's good for like so if you look at the examples they use for that with Echo, it's like down slopes, small slopes. No jet ski in the demo. I'm gonna add it in 0.9. It's such a shame. Let's think, people. How can we handle this better? I'm almost thinking that we need to have the ball of the foot. Let's okay, we can test this. We can test this. We can test this. So let's check this out. Can I dig it? Yes, you can. Can you? Let's try this out. So let's connect it to this other one here. Now, if we make, so if you see here, we've got a lot of bone settings. So we got these. Let's add 2 more effectors. All left. Right. You gotta delete some of these, but yeah. So we have the foot, which is the heel bone. Now I'm thinking, let's get ourselves. Let's actually use the ball bone, because I think if we use the ball of the foot, because I think at the end of the day, the difference with this and all the other ones is because we're trying to make this like uber realistic and have the rotations always like spot on. It's like we can't compromise on. We just can't compromise on any of the things. So even if it's like, especially because I don't know if you guys have played with Echo, but like when you sprint, um, yeah, it's really good when you walk in. All the demos they do, she's walking around everywhere. Yeah, with the ankle bone is the foot bone. So the foot is at that point there. It's kind of heel ankle kind of. So if we now with all these linked up, we can actually do stuff with it. So here now we've got some problems here because we've got some actual settings. These are some weird limitations. Let's go 130 again. By 80 rare the store returns. So, okay, so we can move this up and down as we please. Oh, hello. What in the? Oh, so do you see what I mean? So here, when we limit that joint angle, we cause the knee to raise more rather than bend. So here, if we want to get up to this point here, the knee is going to raise more because we've limited. Yeah, because we've limited this. Well, I thought I'd limited it. Oh yes, because the preferred angle. Wait, what? Hold up. I ain't too sure why it's behaving like this. Do you know why it is behaving like this? Is because oh my, it's because of the it's because of this. This. It's because now that we've taken into account, see, I just want to know why the ball of the foot isn't basically moving. Like the ball of the foot should be to have some kind of influence on the thing itself. That's pelvis, spine, rotation, stiffness, and whatnot. Seems that the ball of the foot does actually have an influence on how we lift the leg. Because when we use the ball of the foot, it seems to increase that. Um, huh. That's interesting. That's very interesting. And if we just say what we have, even if we have zero offset, so this is how much it's gonna. So if we put that to zero, I presume it's gonna. Yeah, that lifts the knee a lot more than when we didn't. So if that's with it, then now if we get rid of this, we get rid of these two, compile that. Now if you see I lift, it bends more like this. Okay, people. Now we're talking. You see how it bends more at the knee, so that the foot comes right below the arse, basically. Now, if I add back the ball of the foot as something to be considered in the, this is sort of like a stabilizer. Which is like basically what our spine is doing. So basically, we have this spine bone that we don't actually manipulate at all, but we keep it there. So like when we pull the feet, if we pull this your man, when you pull the foot, your body just doesn't just like bend towards it. Um, so yeah, if you pull it this way, it doesn't just like all go that way. That's not what I'm doing. Um, so it's same thing with the foot. If you're pulling the foot, we have to consider where the heel's going. So it's never gonna be inside of the thing, hopefully. So now if I lift it, it raises the knee. Yeah, do you see what I mean? So now it's like the ball of the foot and its rotation and this thing here has an impact on the IK process. So now when we lift, we can't go further than that. Like that looks correct. The foot remains flat. That looks good. That looks good. I like that a lot. Okay, let's let's do this exact same thing. Let's literally do this exact same thing. We're gonna set up some more bones. Got a lot of bones set up. Which is a bit spine control. Oh, we use that for the. So rather than IK ball, right? We don't care about you. We care about right. We want the controls. Ball right control. Ball left control. Okay, that's what we care about. Compile. Now let's first let's link up correctly here. Now, when we do this, let's talk about let's add in them bones that we care about again. So now we need to first get rid of these two bone settings because we don't care about you really. Nice. Now we need to add the bones that we do care about. So we'll add two of these. Number three, you're gonna be the left ball. All of your feet. Dirty minded people. I know what some of you think. Yeah, bingo. And now let's grab them. Now we're talking. All right, let's check this out. Let's check this out. Let's see what's cracking with it. Oh, let's eliminate that weird. Not weird. It's quite useful, but let's eliminate this into. Yeah, it's gone. Okay, so okay. Does seem more. Yeah, it's like towards the end there. It was like it's more. It's definitely more knee than it is bend. Let's pump up this ramp to unfathomable heights, and hopefully we have more knee than we do. No, oh, don't do this to me. Just man, the way it behaves in like runtime compared to like in the editor, it's just. Okay, no, there is definitely more bend in knee. There is more bend. I can actually see it myself. Yeah, the knee's a bit more bent. Yeah, that knee does not. To be fair, like it wouldn't though. That's the thing. Like in or something this high, to be able to maintain a straight, like you just wouldn't raise your knee that high without like. And the only way we do that to get it to raise the knee that high is we'd have to drop the pelvis more, which you don't really want to do because you don't need to like be so low. So I think the knee thing, yeah. I think it's good to have the ball of the foot as part of the IK for sure. I think yes, it's really steep. I don't know if it can make it. I don't think I can make it up this. I don't, I don't see it making up this. I take it back. The feet behave better. Yeah, actually, yeah, it doesn't have as much bend in the thing. The toes behave better, which is really annoying. There's a weird little jumpy thing going on though. Like there's some like side rotation going. But it's weird. It's almost like. But then when I go down to a height of the ramp that's far more realistic, like okay, this is probably the steepness of a ramp you'd expect to have at most. This is even too much, but like really, like it's it. I mean okay, the feet look better for sure. There's less of a flick. Feet look quite good actually. Am I tripping? You guys tell me. There's slightly less of a awkward flick, maybe. I'm trying to think. It's just if you watch this right foot, you'll see it's like it's going uphill really. Downhill, it's pretty much near enough spot on. Uphill, watch it's like it's like it's almost catching something. I can't. Oh, it's not really doing it now. It's not really doing it. It's working pretty much. Not really. Oh yeah, it's not doing it now. What the hell? It's working. So adding the balls of the feet to the IK is what saved it. Oh mate, this is spot on. Oh yeah, no, yeah, he is. I haven't added the lean yet. I've still got to add the lean. He's way too upright. 100%. 100%. You're 100% right. But the feet now, There's no weird little bump on the thing. That looks quite good, you know. I like that. That looks okay. If anything, downhill looks a bit weird. Let's see running. That that looks quite good, you know. That's not bad, guys. I'll be honest with you, people. Downhill's a bit now, but going uphill, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good to me. I ain't got what we saying. That looks okay to me. That no, it looks yeah. And I think for going up certain kinds of hills, I'd rather personally have an animation of him going uphill and then IK that because it'd look really really good. Um, but that's you're asking for some crazy range there. And if at any point we do get that animation in, which I think we will do, so like staircases, all that stuff, this would look a million times better. But that looks okay. That looks quite good. Let's oh yeah, with the ball of the foot, adding the ball of the foot, I think stabilizes the foot more, so it's less like straight rotations into to be able to do the IK. I think it just keeps it a bit more balanced when we're doing the thing. Um, all right, let's save. Let's check this in because it's working somewhat. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely still some more tweaking. I'm gonna get rid of these transforms because they're ruining the beauty of this. Okay, let's check this in. What we got at the moment. Um, what does this do? Yeah, this stuff we this is for the lean stuff. This is like set, set, set bones from controls. Controls. I think as well. I want to do the same thing, but I'm gonna add some manipulation to the ball of the foot. I think we can do some calculations on the ball of the foot in here to make it even better. Because I want it to do this, like really realistically. And I think if we can calculate where the ball of the foot should contact and set that up as well, we're talking. Now we're talking. Oh man, there'll be all the animations in the world. Trust me, man. Yeah, Thomas, man. I think that'd be so cool. Yeah, I see. I agree. I agree in terms of it should walk like this and like straighten as you walk up. Yeah, yeah. Let's check this out over. 'Cause that's a slope. Let's check this out over. Yeah, because that's the thing. The legs are always bent, aren't they? Once you get onto that slope, it's like they're always bent. Yeah. Actually, hold on. No, that doesn't look too amazing to me. Now that I don't think about it, that's a great observation. Yeah, like the legs bend straight away. Yeah, do you see? And that's because there's less like, and that's a side effect of adding the ball of the foot. There's less like actual like your calves don't move as much. There's less of a bend. So because of that, both legs just bend. Like there's no like climb up feeling. What happens if I walk off the edge of the map? I just fall into oblivion. Fall in. I can ragdoll off it because Dad has added some ragdoll, so that's always good fun. So we can just I take a little stroll to here, and then we just hit J. Oh, that cloth sim looks so good. Yeah, the cloth sim looks great. That's sick. That looks really good. That looks sick. The arms aren't amazing. You could tell that you can see the bits of the arms I didn't add to the gloves. But yeah, that looks quite good actually. The rest of the t-shirt looks great. Um, we need to fix this leg. That was a really good observation, Slurpee. Now that you mentioned it, I can't unsee it. There's too much. There's too much bend. You know what I mean? There's too much bend in the leg. Now ragdoll, since they added it back, I've had so much. It's so much fun to do. So now we need to figure this out. So you see here, there's too much bend. I think it's because I don't know. I feel like the pelvis ain't moving like it should be moving. Does that make any sense to anybody? Probably not. Let's what if we just added a little bit of Slurpee, you can't unsend that, mate. I saw it. Sonic the Hedgehog. I saw it. Like, it's a nice try. He tried to unsend it after he did it. I saw it, mate. I was funny though. You kept it. I laughed. That was quite funny. Sonic, Sonic the Hedgehog. See you later, cold day, man. Have fun. The rest of you are stuck struggling with me. Um, all right, let's play around with these guys. So, what if we make this this has no impact itself? That's much better. Yeah, when it's zero, it's actually really good. Yeah, Slurpee, man. You actually got caught out big time. Let's go back, move these back to zero. It looks a lot smoother when it's at zeros. So it just acts purely as stabilizers. That's better. That is better. There's some weird behavior going on there. Yeah, it like clicks back. Going up though seems. I think it's weird because the walk has. See, I tell you what, it's not even. Is the walk has a slight bend in the knee as well, like just intrinsically, like the walk itself just has like a weird, like a slight bend in the knee. So that is so when we're now on the slope, it's just that's accentuated. So it's actually not like that obvious, but when we're on the slope, it is just accentuated that much more. So that's why. So, but this is better. This is 100% better. That's spot on. Going downhill is causing some problems though. Like there, what the hell was that? What was that? That was just not right. Um, why are you doing this to me now, downhill? Downhill was always my go-to. Never let me down. And now it's deciding to do this to me. Makes me want to cry. And I think it's because blah 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 blah. If you see when the leg goes behind, so when there's like a travel, at any point if the leg here is behind. Do you see what I mean? So here, yeah. So say when the leg goes behind, the foot comes up. So when my foot goes down, it doesn't go. It can't. It physically can't. So because and it's because the pelvis needs to move. So the pelvis can't stay the same, like stay static. If you're walking off something, like your pelvis needs to, you know, um, yeah, yeah. Your pelvis needs to be pulled by that. So let's go this crap as well. Let's go this problems. So yeah, okay. Now let's jiggle it. Da, 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 da. So here, I don't think we can have this rotational positional stiffness in one. He says 0. Damn, Josh. All right, it's too much. Obviously, that's too much. Let's just use 0.9, just so like, do you mean just like so it can reach it? You know what I mean? Just so it can reach it. So it's subtle though. So like, if I need to go back and down, the pelvis can it can shift. It can move to that. So yeah, let's do the same for the other one. Da 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 da. It's like we set the pelvis location and then we do the full body IK to be like, oh, yo, shift around if you got to shift around. As long as we don't have no weird. Okay. Okay. Some weird clicky behavior going on when walking downhill. That was really good. Whoa. See, that looks weird, right? Yeah, nah, that downhill is awful. Hold up. Wait a minute. What is going on with you? Why are you being like this today? Oh. It's because I limit how much it can rotate. If I made this 130. So what is this one? Yeah, this one's 130. That one's 90. That might be why it's behaving so bougie. Save. Why are you doing this? Why is it doing? It's like the left leg just dragging. Hmm. You just want a quick instant replay thing for the game. Whoa. Yeah, it's behaving weird downhill now. Since we added this, downhill just doesn't do it doesn't like it. Um it just stretches the body a bit too much. And it's because we can't bend the knee like we want to. Like we can't yeah, it stretches it because we can't do that overriding. Yeah. See here, it should go on his tiptoes really. I sussed you out, Thomas. Don't worry about that. But it's because we have these foot effectors in there. It would. The foot will stay the same as it is. The ball of the foot will stay how it is. Because I mean, if we move this ball there, and then move this up. Oh, to be fair, this has no strength, does it? So if we want to give this some strength. It's because we have these foot. Now if we do it. What? See, why I get no bend in the, why there's no like that? I don't. I'm trying to figure out why there is no in the foot. Doesn't really make much sense to me as to why exactly. Like I feel like there should be the ability. Like, the fact he's not pointing his toes ever is what worries me, and I can't, for the life of me, figure out why he can't point his toes. Doesn't really make much sense. It's here, like why wouldn't be able to? I You think this would yield, but I think it's because there's this left foot. This foot thing is part of it. Like if the foot wasn't part of it, it'd point his toes. Like so, how can this just totally ignore that and just be like this? You'd think it'd be like this. If we delete the feet, it'll rotate how it is. You can now point the toe. You know, now you can point the toe however you like. Oh, they crossed over. No, it's all wrong. Yeah, so I could use the controls to like mess around and debug it. So while I'm debugging it, I'm trying to just see basically how it behaves, how they all behave, pretty much. So here, if you see, I can point my toe. We can lift the toe up. I can point my toe down. Blah blah blah. The issue is like I can move my toe backwards, point it forward. The issue I'm having is when I control the foot. However, if I have a foot as an element of the IK, it doesn't care about that. It doesn't seem to like neither turns, neither move. I guess because you can't really, it's a pulling point really, and these 2 points are right by each other, and so they're pulling each other with equal impact. But you think they'd at least counter rotate or thing. Neither rotate when both realistically should. Like this should be able to happen. Like when you're running, you should be able to kick off that. And it's just like that's realistic. That's more realistic than the other way we have it. That's not basic. And there is that, and that's what's causing that flicker. By the way, there's the separation from the heel and the top of the toe. So like, but I mean, this is how he should be. You mean this is how he should be walking? Should be like this, and like he goes, takes a step, steps through, pulls back like that, steps through, pulls back like that. So his stride should be like this. Then as he throws in the middle, then he pulls through. Yeah, I think it's less. It's almost like I want to almost operate from the ball of the foot because the foot is at the ankle, really, and the ball of the foot I think will actually generate a more realistic running motion. See me like this is you can ignore the top of the thing, but this is more. So if I just take this, he's running, and I'm like, ooh, flick. Ooh. Ooh. So this is like, because the ankle will now rotate how I'd like it to. If I'm going downhill, it's gonna do this, you know? The problem with this is that because it's not a child of the ball, when I want to set the rotation, it's all a little bit off. So this is what I'm saying. So I was like, we can do it with the ball of the foot is our IK driver. So how it is now, the ball of the foot and the left to right foot, that's what drives our IK. And you'll get this. Whoa, hello. And you'll get this behavior. You know, you'll get this behavior. Now, the problem, not really a problem, but we need to now try have a go with it, is in regards to actually where we want to lift the foot to and then rotating it almost backwards to that point. I'm more and more getting towards the idea that it might be best off to calculate both where the heel and the toe touch ground, and we do it with both. So it has two contact points. We do two traces, one for the heel, one for the toe, and those are both our contact points. And then we're basically doing it with the IK on the toe, but we're rotating the foot so that it also always matches the surface. Basically what we're doing now. We always keep rotating the foot, but we want the toe to be touching the ground, or the foot, like because then if you're on your heel, that's fine. But you want to, you know, it's a tough one because it's like you can do it as it is or as it was, and it looked fine. Like it looked acceptable, but acceptable is just like when like the game has the basis of the game is movement. You know what I mean? Like it has to be real. Like every step you take has to look realistic, and if it doesn't, you're gonna be able to notice it because that's the game. You know. So in Assassin's, like you can have Assassin's Creed. Yeah, you like when they're fighting, you're not gonna notice if his foot goes a little bit to the ground because you're focused on the blood, the gore, the combos, all that stuff. But if you're literally running between places and like doing moves with your body, you're gonna notice if he doesn't climb up properly, or you know what I mean. So it has to be perfect. I think I need to trace both. I need to trace both. I think. I think we need to trace the foot and the ball. We have two offsets, and the offsets are going to be different. And we just move the pelvis to whichever, I guess, is the lowest. Yeah. And we move the pelvis to whichever is the lowest. We adjust the pelvis based on whichever is the lowest of all four, basically. Well, not of all four. You know, it'd be whatever. Heel is the lowest. Oh no, but before then we look at staircases. Then we'd have to consider all four. Well, I guess you'd only have to consider which one is making contact. Then you'd adjust whichever one is lowest. Move the pelvis to that point there. I mean, if we get rid of this pelvis adjust crap, get rid of this bit. How is he gonna behave? I'm curious. So we let the IK drive where the pelvis is, basically. Well, the IK will drive completely with it. But it works fine. But the problem is, if we make this super steep, which is unrealistic. Yeah, just get rid of all the parkour. Josh just sits in there. IK for the wrist movements. I'll tell you what, I can make that realistic as hell. What the? It's like rotating. Yeah, pelvis. Do not rotate. What? Why is it? It's so weird. Why does it do that? See there, one of the issues we're having with this water is that as you're going downhill, I mean, I guess you're walking. Yeah, you'd want to crunch again. You'd want to, you'd want to adjust, and this is the reason why, like before. So basically, when we, and the problem is using the ball of the feet. That's the problem we're having. Because, well, I'll show you. If we pull the pelvis stuff back, because it is actually giving us this weird bouncy bit too. I'll show you the problem that we're having actually. The problem is when we use the ball of the feet exclusively. Wait, what? Yeah, sorry. When we include the ball of the feet in the IK process, when it causes that it like again, you saw how previously in the other one, when we didn't have the ball of the foot, the leg could bend way more. Like you could literally just like go like that. Whereas now, in it, well, if I get rid of this, I don't know how it's going to behave if I get rid of this. Okay, no, let's not get rid of it. Basically, I'll just explain it to you without having to do all the changes. Basically, before the leg would like, okay, take my arm. I'm trying to think what the best way to do this. Okay, let's do it like this. So before we had our leg, I'm trying to think because obviously you guys are watching this inverted, so it's like this. Okay, and so we had our leg like this, and when we used to lift our foot, so this is the foot at the bottom bit here is the foot. When we used to lift our foot, it'd go like this, and like, sorry, you can't even see. It'd be like this. So we have our leg. We want to lift our foot, it'd go like this. When we're lifting the foot, it'd be like bang, like that. It'd lift the foot like that. But it's now when we added the ball of the foot, which is the front bit, it now lifts the foot like this, which because it takes into account that position. Now that's better going uphill. However, going downhill, we have a problem because when we want to go downhill, you don't want to. It keeps the foot straighter. So like the first leg takes a step. Now the back leg, because it doesn't want to do this to crunch it, to basically like contract the foot, so that that back foot can like come up rather than being straightened out. It like crunches itself and can stay up. It like just keeps this straight and like extends it out, and that's what's causing that weird little problem. That could have been the worst example I've ever done in my life. I don't even know if that made any like. I hope you guys understood what I meant. Um, it's like you fix the front and then you destroy the going up, fix going uphill, destroy going downhill. It's a never ending. Because I mean, I'll just show you. Hold on, I don't know why I just show you. I think I've got it set up now. So now if we right even so now if you look here, so if you see now, there's way more like weird, like the feet. You see how the feet bend weirdly, because now when we move the foot up, there's more of a bend in the calf, rather than like see how going up this hill the feet bend really, but then going downhill it's spot on because you want the feet to bend more weirdly. It's like it's so annoying. It's like that's awful. That is absolutely terrible. But then this, that's absolutely spot on. You just that's literally spot on. You can't even I can't even fault that. That's literally dead on. So same goes for this. Going uphill, it's not terrible. It's not amazing though. But going downhill, that's it's, yo, honestly, I'll tell you what, Otis. Okay, Itis. Um, this thing has like done my head in to the point like I now question how I walk up and down hills. I know what you mean. Yeah, no, the lean and counter lean. I've actually got some. We've done an implementation of it that's semi worked. But we're gonna look at that after once I got him walking right. So it's like you want it perfect going down and you want it perfect going up. You can't compromise, you know. And that foot, it goes like it, and that is so that there, that rotation, that is now that I think that thing that we're having there, that problem with the top of the toe, that's 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 actually rotation being applied to the ball of the foot. Now, that problem always happens. It seems to happen at least when because I don't know when I was playing with the ball of the foot earlier. I don't know if when I moved it forward and backwards, the toe bit just like hooked down. Like it looked so weird, and it's doing the same thing now. Uh, it didn't really do it before because going uphill we limited that range of motion. Yeah, the foot is rotating to the surface normal that it's placed on. So if your one's going down and one's going uphill, then it will rotate differently. So how do I? So if I face it this way, so yeah, so you see how there. So if I go this way, then just pay attention to as I turn. Let me try and zoom out so you can see. Pay attention to what happens to the feet as I turn to go up. One, do you see what I mean? How they stay in the right rotation. And so that's actually correct. The rotation, like rotationally, it's spot on. Um, it's just that little flappy bit. What is it doing? Why is it being like that? No, you're right. You're right, 100%. But there's like, and this is what I'm saying. Like, this is why I think what I need to do. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, no, Dado, you're right. I think we'll Dado, by the way, everyone. If there's Dado Zio Clayton UK. I think we are gonna need like an uphill configuration and a downhill. It seems, because I don't know, they just behave so differently. Like when you're going downhill, you almost want to take into account something separate. Like if you're going uphill, you want to be like, oh, like I want to use this kind of control rig. You know what I mean? Like I wanted him to behave a certain way, and when I'm going up, I want to behave this way. And like you almost want to trace different things. Like you said, like if you're going up, your main step is your toe. Like, that's your climbing point. Whereas if you're going down, you're not gonna. You know what I mean you're gonna take your heel and heel toe, not toe heel. Up is toe heel, toe toe. Down is heel. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, so when I'm going up, I want to account for the ball of my foot. Like I have to, otherwise it's gonna look crazy. But if I'm going downhill, I can't be account for the ball of my foot because I'm going downhill. I need to be able to have that bend. But then when I'm going up, it needs to be more of the knee. Whereas when I'm going down, it needs to be more of the calf moving back rather than the knee raising up. It's just a rant at this point. This is 2 hours, and the other one was 2 hours. It's just 4.5 hours of ranting. I think we're gonna need separate implementation. This works really well for going downhill, though. I think you're right. We'll need yeah, different fits for different ones. I mean, we could definitely like yeah. This is what I mean. Like we could have you know like determine almost which control rig we do. Maybe change what class and whatnot. I guess yeah, we could have different control rig classes, which is actually I'm so stupid. That's what they do. They have that. They actually have like different control rig classes in like the Echo one to like because they behave differently. Um, I don't know if I've got this, man. I don't like. We'll get there in the end. We'll get there in the end, but no, but you guys can see like we just can't. You can't take shortcuts. Like you can't. Um, it can't not be amazing. You know what I mean? Like you can't. Just I don't like. If I'm honest, like say I was making a game that didn't really rely on crazily on like, oh, it has to be amazing with the movement. You first of all, you wouldn't even bother with the lean and counter lean. That's just some added complexity and computation that you just don't even care about because no one's gonna notice that really. Um, Technically, like going up then downhill, you just minimize. You just mainly would rotate the feet and minimize the two. But this is like movement is everything, so it's got to be good, man. I'm gonna get food. Um, yeah, I want to eat something. Get some food in my stomach because I am hungry. So yeah, and then I'm gonna stream again tonight. So I'll be back tonight, and we will do. I say tonight, like an hour and a half. 50 deals that are mind blowing. We'll do another one, and we will. We're gonna get this. I have faith in us. Um, I'm like, I'll check this in, but it's just not even that. It's like, what really has changed, you know? I made some, we've done some settings, really. The only thing that's changed, really, is just we've done change some settings up in here. Have we even? No, we haven't. I haven't even made change. Yeah, the pelvis is included in this, yeah. The pelvis we drive ourselves because if I let IK drive the pelvis freely, it'll just like the camera will just bounce around and the pelvis will go crazy. So we stripped the pelvis and we did like manually move it up and down. And then we use IK for the limbs. Again, I think it really if we're gonna have these different control rates, it could be worthwhile having like walking uphill, walking downhill, and then doing IK on them. Because I think if we wanted to have one singular control rig, having a walking uphill and walking downhill animation would do it perfectly. Like, because then it's like if you decide what animation you're playing and then IK that, then you'll get this just right. You can have one single control rig. But because we are just using a walking animation, if we want to get perfect uphill and perfect downhill, we need to be like it needs to treat it differently. We need two separate control rigs that we're gonna have to apply to the right context. So it's either you pick you have an animation or you make a different control rig because here we're doing a lot of movement. You know what I mean? It's not whereas like some animations with IK, it's like you just want the hand to touch a button, so you're like touch a button, it's calm. You want a foot to be on the floor, so like rotate to the right side, so just rotate the foot. This one is like you're going uphill, you want to kind of climb, so it's like it could in itself be a whole different animation. And I think when you start getting towards the boundaries of like, could this be an animation in itself? That's when IK starts to reach its limit, and it starts to be like, if you want to like make it gold, you're looking at a whole thing. Um, but yeah, I want to get some food. I'm starving, man. That was good. I enjoyed that. It was good. It was good to have people in there. Not to, like I mean, I made literally zero headway. My understanding is a bit better, which I think mm, we now realize we might need separate control rigs for the different contexts. And we already determined, so this lean direction determines whether or not we're going uphill or downhill. And you can pass that into a control rig. So we can have different, oh, I didn't even, we can have different parameters completely determined. So we can have one single control rig and we just have different parameters and settings based on whether or not we are going uphill or downhill. So that actually, yeah, could be quite easy to do. Well, not easy, but kind of maybe have the structure and the architecture there. So yeah, maybe we might get this done tonight. That'll be the aim, really. Um, yeah. All right, guys. I don't know if Dado's streaming. I think he might be streaming in a minute. Oh, Dado, I can't hear you. So yeah, Dado's gonna be probably streaming in a bit, and then so I don't know. Is he streaming now? Yeah, me too. Me too, man. um, other games, I when you really deep it, the level of it just ain't like it's good, but like again, they have animations probably for like climb. The really good ones will have like climbing ones. Other than that, like games, when you really like, if you honestly deep the way games are constructed, they'll it's like clever. They do it. They make the game cleverly. Like they make it so that they don't allow themselves to run into these problems. That makes sense. So like honestly, look for like apart from like massive games or massive studios, but like, the more like some like more realistic like games that have a lot about them, like the action, adventure, like they'll minimize the chances for you to actually be on a slope in which you can really tell whether or not your IK is on it. So like they just won't have super high slopes. Like if you don't need it, you don't like realistically, when are you ever gonna have a 45-degree slope? Jimmy, we're trying to make this look good on any slope whatsoever, ever. But when are you ever gonna have a 45-degree slope? So if it looks good on a 10 degree and you're like, it would break at 20, you just like, oh, this game doesn't have 20-degree slopes, so it doesn't fit the context. But I don't doubt there's some games that like have some really amazing systems that are, like the Assassin's Creed and all that. That being said, I don't know whenever I climb a slope in Assassin's Creed. I guess not. I guess a rooftop. Let's check it out. Let's look at it. Let's let's watch it. Why not? Assassin's Creed. Let's do Valhalla. Can you guys see that? It's just, oh, my elbows are actually screaming. Okay, so like there. So let me. This is the first thing. Okay, so like there. This sounds like we're gonna be critiquing Assassin's Creed, but like we'll show you like the areas in which like we're trying to be better to try and revolution. So here, like that takeoff is just in like you see that warp just wasn't the one. You know that'd be you'd be coming around the corner and doing a certain type of animation. But they get away with that because it's like there's so much going on in the game. Which like we'd be able to do that too because we're gonna make real interesting and like the real life environments and everything. So they'll be just like this, but yeah. Slow. Let's check it out the slope. I guess it's the opposite. Really. Alright, here we go. So let's check it out. Yeah, so yeah, they just move the root up. Like, so he's if you watch his actual animation, nothing like he doesn't lean changed his lean. You think he'd lean further forward. It just like you see how it just slides the root animation up. Um, but with like everything going on, that's like it makes it impossible to notice. Yeah, Skate 3 is really good. I love like climbing up staircases in Skate 3. Like that I found to be really good. So yeah, so something like that is like yeah, that Skate 3 free roam is great. Um yeah, you see they hide it really well. Um I mean I have Skate. Let's check it out ourselves. I have Skate 3 set up. Let's do it. Why not? Let's check it out. Why not? This is our research work. No. I actually own a copy of Skate. So yeah, do this unless you own a copy of Skate 3, because it's unfair. So I actually own two. I actually own two copies of Skate 3. Although it's old, they just did it right. You know what I mean? They just did it right. The animations are nothing like the graphics are nothing like it was, but it didn't need to because they focused on all these things and that's what they focused on. And tell the difference so much. So see, look at us. Gotta own them. Gotta own them. Otherwise, I feel terrible doing it. Just like I say that, and I'm one to like I'd watch a movie on like a stream site. Like I'd happily watch a Marvel movie on it. But like I don't know, with game developers, I feel different. I feel bad because I'm like, that could be me one. Oh, it's a serious like, streaming this while you play is not the one. Okay, so let's. That's so good. What? It's just so good. That's good. Okay, I mean, it's all right. Yeah, it's really good. I mean, there you see they had it's a different animation, and that's what they do. It's a different animation. So he's going downhill there, and he changes, and he sees his head tilts down. I don't know if it is. Seems like it just maybe it is actually because I mean the frequency of your steps changes, so it probably is. I presume it's a different animation. It's really good though. Like it's really good. Like I presume I mean you could do definitely just like a blend space, like um He definitely does like a blend space, and it seems to so like you have your shuffle down, and as your speed increases, you just transition into the it's I think it's more so less on the slope and more so on the speed of the character. So if your character is going a certain speed, it's gonna climb a certain way. So if we walk down this, you see now it just tilts down. Yeah, this is story, guys. This is dope. I used to play this game so much, man. I'll say that. Actually, this game, no game beats. This game is the best game ever, bro. It's the best game I've ever played, at least. Yeah, until Star Parkour Pro, of course. It's like it's just everything's just so it's just so good about this. And I played this ages as well. I still just remember all the stuff. How did you do? There we go. Man, I played it too much, honestly. No, I just stop. I used to play this too much. uh, I might come back to that later. But yeah, no, I think they shuffle between animations. I think that's what I put my money on. But I don't know. It could just be. It doesn't look like it's just okay because a lot changes. Um, I mean, they're still so good, and it's because they did it right. This is what I'm saying. So like 5 years, ten. It's been almost over like 10 years, and they just did it right. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. They just did that game well. That was a well done game. That was a really well done game, man. That was just a good game. That was a good game, and that's what I mean. That's why we can't. That's why we're trying so hard to not overlook any aspect in this one because you just really can't. Um, I think we're gonna need until we get because I don't. There's a lot more anime that we need. Generally, like it's weird. I think the next motion capture session we do, I think really is gonna just be locomotion focused. Like just to get the guys moving around, walking up hills, down hills, upstairs, downstairs, like jumping off like little things that we can um that we can use to make the animations more fluid. Um, because yeah, that's it's still you don't really think you need it, but it is something that is integral. Um, oh yeah, I think a manhunt mission mode would be so sick. That would actually be awesome. That would actually be awesome. I'd be so down for that. Manhunt, that'd be so sick. I think that'd be like so. Someone was talking about having chase tag one time. Um, I think something like Manhunt would be sick. Like when the story did that like £10,000 thing where you got to hunt them. I think that exact same thing. Whereas you can see the person on the map. So sort of like you have your map, you have the red dot of where they are, so you can follow them and find them. That person can't you can either hide or you can see him keep moving. So you know what I mean? And you have to try and hunt them. But you can see them and they can't see you. So do you know what I mean? So that would be sick. So it's like if they spot you, it's calm. Do you mean they spot you? Or they can only see you when you're on this it only like flashes up to them when you're in a certain range, like if you're like 20 meters away, they'll see you. So if they get stuck in a corner, you're gonna catch them. Yeah, it literally was. Yeah, me and Ben talk about it. But yeah, I think something like a manhunt mode where literally that like you see the person you're chasing, they don't see you. So like in Warzone where you have your bounty where you can see the exact target of your bounty, the bounty doesn't know where you are. However, it does tell you how when you're like a certain like range from them. When you're really close, it tells you something like that. And then you spot each other, and it's like oh shit, here we go. And then you start like doing whatever, jumping through things, passing over what, climbing up walls. It'd be sick. And you have like a 5-minute window to get them or something like that. I think it'd be absolutely sick. I'd love to play that. I can't even lie more than anything. Yeah. Alright. As you I haven't eaten all day actually. So let me go get some food. And I'll come back again to this later. And we'll tackle this. We'll get it done. We'll set up a separate control rig. We'll make some separation between the current one we have now. And yeah, we'll try and get it done. All right, cool people. This was fun. I actually really enjoyed this one. Yeah, it's good to have everyone chatting. Yeah, when everyone's active in the chat, it's actually a lot of fun. So, for everyone that was in it today, I really enjoyed it as well. So yeah, I probably will be doing it again later, but if not, I'll definitely see you guys tomorrow. So awesome, guys. Stay safe and I'll catch you in a bit.